one, and then this one's got both of us.
Okay.
Cool. All right, let's do this.
How you doing? I'm here today with a very interesting character, a savage, making a move down to lightweight, correct?
Yeah.
We got Solomon Renfro Jr.
Thanks for having me here, man.
Dude, it is my pleasure. Been doing a lot of homework on you for the past couple days, and wow. I've been liking the fights, my man.
Thank you. Appreciate the love, man.
Oh, dude, of course. I mean, especially your Contender Series fight, which I want to talk about in depth because, bruh.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
That was insane.
Yeah, I mean, it's not too much to say about it. All I can do now is just keep going forward every day like I am. You know, and I feel like the end of this year, I'll probably be back on the show.
100.
If not, I feel like I'll be in the big show. So I just got to get a couple more wins, and I'll be in there. No worries.
Who's your next fight with? What promotion?
It's looking like it's going to be with CFFC, May 14th. Trying to find out the details and get the op, but that's what it looks like it's going to be right now.
And you have, like, a pretty big history with them.
Yeah. I've actually only fought for them, except for one other fight. I fought for Maverick for the 85-pound title. I took that belt, and I recently just fought for LFA. Had a skid, but it is what it is, you know. And then I fought for Contender Series as well, so.
You know, and that was just one of those punches that you just don't see,
It was just
man.
one of them things you say when shit is zag. Like, I was way better than the dude. It just, I mean, shit happens. It just was long and goony and just, I lunged in, which you should never, ever do, especially if you're a shorter fighter like myself. You
It was a
take
little
your
loopy
time,
of a hook,
small
too.
steps. I threw a big loopy hook. Like, never do that. I just felt like he was, like, across the street. I was just too jumpy. That's just what it was. I just jumped in, and you just can't do that at this level. Like, there's no room for shit like that. So it is what it is. I know better.
Yeah, not true. And, you know, but, like, from watching your other fights, though, I mean, shit, you just got, like, one of the scariest styles. And it's one of those guys who just, you go straight forward.
Yeah.
And you just throw.
I'm trying to bring the action, man, you know, because if I'm like, we're here to fight. I've been fighting since I was a kid, so we're going to fight. We're going to fight. Like, I'm not here to fuck around and play and take time. No, I'm coming to beat your ass, bro.
Oh,
I mean, yeah, I'm going to do it strategically, but I'm coming to beat your ass.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, your last fight that I saw from CFFC, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, we're coming. You know, I prepare for everything, but, like, at the same time, prepare to go to war. You know?
Oh, yeah.
I'm prepared to finish you. My goal is to go out there and finish the guy in the first round, but I want to be ready for 5 rounds. So I'm ready for everything.
Oh, 100%. But that actually brings up a good question. You said you were fighting since you were a kid. I mean, how'd you even get started in this whole thing?
Yeah, my dad got me into it. Excuse me.
All good.
My father got me into it at a real young age. Tell people all the time, my first memory is of a red boxing glove. My first memory ever.
That's crazy.
It's a red boxing glove and like some random dog for whatever reason. Well, those are like my first memories ever. A red boxing glove and like a dog. And yeah, my dad used to bring me around the gym when I was a kid. Always had me around fighters, and then I got into boxing at a young age. I actually won the JOs in Rochester, New York, when I was 12. So I got a history in fighting. And then after that, I wrestled in high school. And I was pretty good at football too, but I just didn't want to play football anymore because I was getting hurt. Like I tore my ACL playing football just because someone missed a block. And it was like I didn't want to have to depend on other people for my success or for my failure. So if it was going to happen or I was going to learn a lesson, I would rather take it all on me wholeheartedly. Oh, yeah. And that's what fighting does. You know, wrestling kind of brought me back to that, how it was in boxing. And then I was like, you know, I like both. And originally I was thinking I should just hop back into boxing. But then I was like, I can't really say I'm the best fighter in the world if I'm a boxer. Even though maybe hindsight 2020, looking back on it, high school me, I would have been like, bro, just go box, make that extra cash. But, you know, you can make that cash in MMA. You just got to do the right things and market yourself the right way. So I believe I am going to do that, you know. And I'll still go back to boxing. But yeah, that's how I came into it. So right after high school, I wrestled. Right after I took 6 in states at 220. Which I shouldn't have been at wrestling at 220, but I was wrestling at 220. And then
what is up with you in these massive weight jumps, dude? Holy shit!
And then after that, man, I just hopped right in.
Yeah,
I hopped right in. I had my first fight. I started training MMA officially March 2015. And I had my first fight June of 2015.
Wow.
Yeah, or July.
What?
It was June or July. It was
That's
June,
crazy,
June, because I had missed my prom.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and I was prom was like the week before, and I was like, "Fuck, I can't go." I can't
yeah,
go.
that's the last thing you want to do during a weight cut.
Nah, yeah, definitely not go to prom.
Well, were you even cutting weight?
Yeah, I cut.
All right.
Because I used to walk around like 215, so my first fight was 195 catch weight.
Jesus.
Yeah, I used to be thick, man. That's why it's taking me so long to get down to 55, slowly but surely. But I'm comfortable at 70. Just they're a little longer. You know, they're a little taller at 55. I've never actually been the bigger guy than anybody at fault, so it would be interesting to see that.
Oh, yeah.
And then, especially with the ground game on top of that, I feel like some of it at 70, the ground game, I'm taking guys down, they're just so long, it's hard to deal with their limbs, you know? But at 55, they'll be a lot smaller and lighter even. So
You're going to smoke
we'll
55ers, dude.
Yeah. Either way, I feel confident that I'll be a champion in both weight classes, but 55, I feel like I would be just the most dominant of all time, really. You know, even over Khabib. Seriously.
That's sick.
Seriously.
Well, I mean,
So,
hey,
I'm going for it. 1,000,000,000%, man.
That's the confidence it takes, though, man. You know, people don't get it.
Yeah, man. This is like, it's an everyday thing. You know, you wake up, highs and lows, but you got to do it even when you don't want to do it. And I feel like the belief, knowing that you're going to get there is what's going to carry you there. If you don't really know that you're going to get there, you're never going to get there. You're never going to get there. If you don't believe it 100%, if you don't believe no matter what happens, the sky could fall tomorrow, I still believe I'm going to be champion one day.
Oh, yeah.
The same way I know the sun's going to come up in the morning, the same way I know I'm going to be a champion. The same, it's just that. That's just what it is for me. I don't know why I believe it like that. I was blessed with that. I guess the gift and the curse to a certain extent, because even if I wanted to quit, I feel like I couldn't because I'm too deep. I'm too deep now, you know? Too deep to go back.
You already got too much behind you, bro.
Right, exactly. But no, I'm grateful to be doing what I'm doing.
Oh, I mean, I could imagine. I mean, especially, you know, it's giving you a platform.
Give me a platform, save my life, and still changing my life for the better every single day, you know? Everything I do is based off MMA. The way I eat, the way I sleep, my clothes, my food, my friends, even, like, you know, my newfound family members, you know, they're all came through this sport. So I'm so grateful for the sport. The highs, the lows, everything about it. I love every bit of it.
You said the sport changed your life, or saved your life, excuse me.
Saved my life for the better.
How's that?
No doubt. Well, you know, being a kid growing up in Cleveland, Ohio / Buffalo, New York, the crime rate's really high, and when you don't have a lot of money at home and there's really not opportunities to get jobs to make real money, what do people go to? You make money the wrong way. So I had a stint in my life where I was making some bad decisions, but you know, I got focused on MMA, and that kind of pulled me away from all of that. So I'm thankful for it.
Yeah, I could imagine, man. I mean, that's a tough place to grow up.
True.
People think about Cleveland and they think it's like a joke, bro. You know what I mean?
Nah, yeah.
They don't know what they're talking about.
Buffalo, too, is another one, man. I think Buffalo might have the highest. It's not something to brag about. It's not a brag. I'm just saying.
Highest murder rate in the United States.
Yes. Buffalo, New York. Just
unfucking real.
It's so small compared to other cities.
You look at Chicago, and it's like 700 shootings a year.
Right.
And it's like there's still a city with a higher murder rate.
Exactly. It doesn't make sense. So, yeah, I'm definitely happy that, you know, MMA found me, I should say, even better, and, like, pulled me into it. And I've just been so in love with it. I've been, like, sucked in. You know, it's like no matter what happens, it's like I'm always going to be in love with it, no matter what. It's like that girl that you probably liked in, like, high school or something. And just for some reason, you can't stop thinking about this girl. She could be the worst girl possible for you. But at the same time, you just feel like it's just meant for you.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that's how I feel about this.
Well,
but even deeper. More deeper than any chick could possibly make you feel about anything. You know, just deeper. I haven't had a child yet, but I can imagine maybe that's the love that I feel for it. Like, when my teammates tell me love they feel about their children, like they said, it's just a bond that's never going to go away. That's kind of how I feel for MMA. Like, no matter what happens, blood, sweat, and tears, highs and lows, I love it. I can't stop watching it. Even when I want to stop watching it, it just pulls me back in.
Dude, like, even like the fight cards where like there's a main event you just don't give a fuck about.
Yeah.
You'll still catch me on a Saturday night.
Right.
ESPN Plus.
And if you start watching the card from the prelims all the way through, it's like they just all suck you in, man. They all suck you in somehow, some way. Like, they all get you. Every fight tells a different story.
It's true.
You know, so it's like reading all these different stories, and you see all these people from all over the world. And they all have the same dream and the same goal, and they all compete. Blood, sweat, and tears. Like I keep saying, man, it's just there's something like really pure about that. It's the purest form of sport there is.
Oh man,
going in there and fighting another person 1-on-1 in a cage, just like a coliseum. Literally, is just like that. Like, that's how the coliseums used to look. They were built just like how the UFC arenas are built, and the crowd is all around, and the cage is down in the middle, and they're all watching the bloodbath, you know, for their entertainment. So
yeah, I mean, you genuinely are a modern day gladiator.
True story.
I mean, and it's crazy too, because look at the size of you. I fight at 55. Look at the size of you, bro. Holy shit.
Yeah,
I mean, that's nuts.
Yeah, we're gonna make it happen though. I got a good team. I got a nutritionist. Shane Burgos is one of my teammates. Everyone knows he's like one of the biggest 145ers ever. And so we have the same nutritionist. So he's gonna get me down. But even if for now I have to fight at 65 or 70, I'm fine either way. But the goal is to get down to 55 and go through there in the UFC. But even if I have to be 70, I'm fine either way.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, listen, you had how many fights to 70? You know,
11.
the 10. Overwhelming majority, right?
Right.
So, well, and then a fight at 85. I mean, how did that fall into your lap, bro? I mean, that's insane.
I was living in Buffalo. When I was living in Buffalo, man, I was reckless. Life was reckless. I was having a good time. Too much of a good time, though. But I mean, I was always training hard and stuff, but I was always hanging out with my friends. I was a lot closer with, like, you know, my friends from back home back then. So they were even cornering me. So I was at the time I was with the girl I was hanging out with, and I got a call, and they're like, "Hey, man, we got this fight at 185 in like 2 weeks. You want to take it? You know, it was like 4 G's." And I was like, all right. At the time, I really needed that 4 G's.
100%.
You know, to help my rent and everything. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to take it. Who's the dude? And they're like, oh, he's an ex-ring of combat champ, blah, blah, blah. I looked him up, and I was like, oh, fuck it. I can beat him. At the worst come to worst, I can hold him down and beat him up. So that's what we went out there and did. I called the coaches at the gym in Buffalo at the time, which was more of like an amateurish gym. Now they're coming up to the pro levels. Like they're bringing a lot of UFC talent in to coach around there. So the Buffalo scene is really coming up. But before that, there wasn't anyone before me and Patrick Mix.
I see.
There was no one in the area. You know, like Rashad Evans from Niagara Falls, but he never comes back to that area, like ever.
I see.
So I called the coaches in the area at the time, and they all had like other obligations, taking care of their families, you know, working and things like that. So the only people that come out were my friends. So my friends came out, cornered me. We went out there, we did the damn thing. We got the dub. We went out there, dominated, came away with the title. And after that, the guy from Maverick was like, man, you got to get with a real team. And I was like, I got a real team. What are you talking about? These my boys, you know, ride or die.
Yep.
What you mean? No disrespect. But he introduced me to Tiger Showman's, and then I came down. And the first day I walked in, they were wearing all black and banging 50 cents. I was like, all right, this place is cool. I'm just gonna
That was the draw.
Yeah, that was the draw.
That was the
That's
draw.
how they got me in.
Yeah, I mean, well, I've heard nothing but good things about Tigers, so.
Really hard workers there, man. Everyone there is really hard working.
Is that where you're training at these days?
Super skilled. Yeah. That's where I train at most days. So that's my main camp right now, Tiger Showman's. That's where I'm holding it down at. I'm there every morning from about 10 a.m. to about 1:30, you know, getting better. That's it. And then I leave there, usually go to Believe Elite with Shane and Ryan Burgos, with the strength conditioning there. And maybe at night, I might go end up in Hoboken, do some more jiu-jitsu or something, but I might go home, you know.
So you're training like 6 hours a day?
Yeah, because I don't work at all. All my money that I make is off sponsors. So, I mean, I do work. This training is my work.
Oh,
That's my work.
Yeah,
so all my money I make is off sponsors and doing private lessons. Like I said, MMA is the way I provide for myself, period. So I figured if I'm going to make this a career the way I want to make it a career, if I'm going to be the GOAT, like I said, I want to be the GOAT, and I have to live my lifestyle like that. So what does a nurse do when she gets up in the morning? She works 6 to 8 hours a day. What does a construction worker do? Work 6 to 8 hours a day, and they become great at what they do. It's their craft. So if this is really my craft, this is my job, I have to put that much time into it. Whether it's not always 6 or 8 hours physically, it's 6 or 8 hours dedicated to my craft every single day. And probably more than that, because I'll end up watching film or watching more fights afterwards, and that's just getting better. It's just always in my mind. Even when I don't want it to be, it is. Like, if I have a blank, if my mind goes blank, I draw myself back to center by saying, like, MMA. And I get like, okay, now I can realize what I was thinking about. Seriously.
No facts. It's like what Conor McGregor said with the whole Van Gogh thing. You know, like you got to be like so single-minded to the point where you go insane for your craft.
I was trying to think of the quote, but yeah, you go insane to it, man. You really do. Vincent Van Gogh is one of my favorite examples of someone that's obsessed with their craft. So obsessed with their craft that it does drive them almost a little bit off the rails.
Oh, yeah.
Like, definitely had driven me, some might say off the rails, but because this is all I think about. Like, I've given up friendships, relationships, big job opportunities to make really good money that most people would be like, dude, are you crazy? You know, because I know the same way I know the sun is going to come up tomorrow morning, the same way that I know I'm going to be one of the greatest champions, if not the greatest champion of all time. 100%. No matter what weight class, no matter what happens, no matter what, I know I'm going to be that. So I just have to be that and believe that and obsess over it. You know, Vincent Van Gogh was so crazy about his goal. I heard a story that not heard a story. I read a story about him and one of his women or wives breaking up or something like that, and because he was so obsessed with his art, and she was like, "Oh, come visit me" or something, and he didn't want to go. So what he did was he cut his ear off.
Yep.
And sent it to her. You know.
Yep.
And
Gave her a piece of him.
Yeah, give her. There's a piece of me. You know, that's crazy. But at the same time, it's the crazy that you need to be a legend in the sport, like a legend in your craft. Because now we still talk about that. I mean, how many years ago did that happen?
1800s, probably.
Yeah, 1800s. You know, we're still talking about him because he was so obsessed with what he did. You know, maybe his girl at the time thought he was out of his mind, but now we still appreciate him no matter what.
I mean, it's like that clip of Darren Till when he's like doing that interview. And he's talking about how he's like
talk to his daughter.
he's like me wife, she got a kid. I don't give a fuck. Like that guy's crazy.
Yeah,
I mean,
crazy.
And that's what I respect about, you know, people such as yourself who they dedicate their entire day, their entire week, entire month, entire life.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like I could never.
You're doing it though. You know, I mean, look, you got this podcast.
Yeah.
Slowly but surely, I'm pretty sure you're gonna put more and more time into it, more and more money.
100%. I mean, even right now, I do.
You might be fucking Joe Rogan.
Oh, 100%, man.
Seriously.
No, I mean that's the goal, but shit. I mean, someone like you though. Listen.
Appreciate the love, man.
It's just so crazy to see.
I appreciate that. Seriously, it means a lot, and I'm still putting more into it. I'm still getting better every single day. As much as I possibly can, I'm always trying to learn. If there was a 5-year-old little girl that walked in here right now so that I can show you how to defend the armbar better, then I'm going to sit down and learn that.
Yeah.
You know, I don't care who it is. I'm trying to learn as much as I possibly can and soak up all the knowledge I can get to make me the best version of me I can possibly be. And I go out there confident as shit and go whoop that dude's ass. Because I know all I did was dedicate my time, my effort, my love, everything into this, and no way that they did that. No way that they sacrificed everything the way I sacrificed everything. And if it goes wrong, sometimes it's just meant to go wrong. But I feel like at this point in my life, in my career, I went through all the worst. I've been through all the worst. I got submitted by Mike Malott when I was whooping his ass. I got robbed on Contender Series when I whooped that dude's ass. And I just got zigged when I should have zagged against this last dude. And to be real, I was going to whoop his ass too. You know, he was out there scared for his life. But hats off to him, man. He won the fight, luckily. But I feel like those things, for me, I'm still young. I'm only 25 years of age. I've only been fighting now for 5 years. You know, I've done a lot in the short time that I've been fighting.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm pretty much self-taught in a lot of ways. So, like I said, I've experienced all the worst lows of the sport. Now it's time for me to experience all the highest highs, and that's all there is to do. That's all there is to it.
Big facts.
You just gotta keep pushing. You know, it's always darkest right before the light. Right when you feel like you want to stop is when you gotta keep going, because that's when you know you're close. That's what everyone says. Everyone, you can read any story about anything anybody's ever made in anything. Right before they made it, it was always super, super dark, or it felt low, and it was like, why? I didn't want to do it anymore. McGregor said he didn't want to take fights before he got the call. Kobe Bryant, man, he thought about quitting before he really got into high school, before he got better. Michael Jordan missed tons of shots before he actually became Michael Jordan. He missed tons of closing shots where they were like, oh man, he's not a closer. You know, he didn't even make. How many times did he get to the playoffs and not make it through the first round? How many times was that? Maybe like 3 or 4 times he didn't make it to the first round. You know, but then when he got to the finals, that's all people talk about, what he did in the finals. That's all they talk about. So what they're going to talk about with me is what I do in the UFC, because that's all that's going to matter. And what I'm going to do is take over the fucking game. I know it 1,000,000,000%, because it just is what it is, man. The same way the sun going to come tomorrow morning, the same way, you know, the Black Dragon's taking over, man. The Renfro era is coming soon. Believe that.
I fucking love it, bro.
Thank you.
You see, like, but it's not even just yourself that it affects. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you're the one going out there and getting the belt. You're the one out there getting the bag. You know,
right? But
you're inspiring people. You know what I mean? And that's something that you got to understand. You know, there's a little you somewhere who's going to be watching you become champ one day. And then he's going to be like, fuck, I'm going to be the champ now.
Right.
I mean, it is crazy, because, you know, that is what the pursuit of greatness really is. It's like,
what it is.
Like, I mean, you're having an impact on a lot of people.
Yeah. I want to leave a legacy, man. You know,
wild.
like they say, like in like Achilles, something like that. You know, when my bones are gone off this earth, I want people still to be talking about me.
Oh, yeah.
To say he was one of the greatest warriors, not just warriors, but one of the greatest men, period. Why is Muhammad Ali the GOAT? Why is Muhammad Ali considered the GOAT? Yes, he's one of the greatest boxers of all time. Yes.
Yeah.
Is he the greatest boxer? That's debatable.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. If you know your boxing, that's very debatable. But he's not the GOAT because he was a great man overall. Not only was he a great warrior, he was a great man.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what I strive to be. I try to, get better in every aspect of life possible. Fighting, obviously, but be a better brother, a better lover, a better friend, a better teacher, a better role model, or even a better enemy if I gotta be. Just be the best thing I can possibly be in every field of my life. And I know that's gonna take me to where I want to go.
No, it's true. And obviously, there's a lot of sacrifices you have to make over the ways.
Yeah, no doubt. But it's all gonna be worth it. It's all gonna be worth it, man. Every single night, I wish upon a star. Seriously, every single night, I wish upon a star. I'm like, please make this happen. But not only am I just wishing, I'm working as well. So I know it's gonna happen. Luck is when preparation meets opportunity, and I've been preparing what feels like my entire life for these moments. So, like I said, I've been through the lowest lows. Now it's time for me to experience the highest highs. You gotta go through the lowest lows for the universe to test you, see if you really fucking want it. Because I look back at those fights, I'm like, why? Why did that happen like that? Like, why? Like, were those guys better than me? No.
Yeah.
Was it that I didn't train hard enough? No. Was it that I wasn't giving enough to my craft? No. So what was it? Why did that happen? Why did I have to feel that? Why did I have to go through that? I didn't deserve that. Like, I'm better than that. There's guys in the UFC right now that I'm better than. Why? Because I asked to be the GOAT. That's why. That's because I asked to be the GOAT. That's why. If you're going to be the GOAT, you got to experience every emotion with this shit. So it's better that you experience every emotion with the low emotions outside of the UFC. I don't want to experience that shit in the UFC. I don't want to get to where Darren Till was at. I didn't have my first loss and then have a different type of career. All respect to his name. All respect on him. I still think he's a great fighter. I just feel like maybe when he lost, it was kind of a shock to him. Because before you lose, you really don't know that you can lose. Like you really don't think that you can lose until you actually lose.
Really?
So like I said, I feel like you got to go through every emotion if you really want to be the GOAT. You got to feel everything. So I felt the lowest lows. Now it's time for me to feel the highest highs. And in order for me to do that at this point, I just got to keep going and go harder than ever like I am. I might have to tweak the dial a little bit. Maybe have to change the weight class. Maybe, maybe mix the game up a little bit, add more grappling, add more feints, add more movement, things like that. But that's just leveling up my game in general.
Yep.
That's just how you do in general. It doesn't matter what you are. You always got to constantly level up. So that's what we're doing. We're leveling up. It's time for us to experience the highest highs. And the Renfro show is better than ever.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's why I was so surprised to, have watched your last fight. Do you feel like you underestimated your last opponent at all? Or was it just like a chance thing that just happened?
Honestly, man, I put my whole heart into that camp. Like I put my whole heart into this camp, but I trained harder than I ever trained for anything. Honestly, I was really confused for a second when that happened. Really, I was
I can imagine.
Not like confused about the fight. Like when it happened, I got clipped. I was recovering. I was getting up, and then I remember telling the ref after the fight, I was like, "Dude, you told me you were going to tell me 3 times before you stopped the fight." Right before he walked out, he did. We had the fighter meetings, and he's like, "If you're in trouble, fighter, I'm going to tell you 3 times. Fighter, defend yourself. Fighter, defend yourself." So when I was getting up, you see me arguing with the ref. I'm like, "You didn't say shit to me." That's what I'm saying to him because I remember him saying that to me. So I wasn't like out of it, but I was clipped. I was dazed. I was trying to recover, but it's MMA. And that ref was new as well. Yeah. So I'm not gonna sit here and say like it's all his fault. It was an early stoppage. I got clipped. I did get clipped. Do I think I would have came back? Yes, but shit happens. And what can I do at this point is try to learn a lesson from it. And the lesson I learned from it is, for one, always be like I already know, always be patient, but don't jump in and lunge in. Like you know better than that, Solomon.
True.
Take your time. Doesn't matter how tall the dude is. Take your time. You're gonna get that motherfucker. So that's it. Take my time. Slip, touch, and get him out of there like I do. And that's
Big facts. And that is really what you do, though. You send motherfuckers to the shadow realm.
That's it. Yeah. And all these rest of these dudes, I'm about to send them to the gods. Yeah.
Dude, well, yeah. And it's crazy what you were telling me before, too, about how you started off boxing really young and then did wrestling in high school. Like, I feel like even for someone who started in 2015, like, you're way ahead of your time.
Yeah.
I mean, because you think about it now. The age of the well-rounded fighter only really started, 2017?
Right.
It was, specialists before that,
Yeah. Yep.
Everyone slowly but surely started, they had, the Frankie Edgars and all that. But now is, the time where you find really well-rounded guys.
And I feel like that's me.
Yep.
I always said, coming up and even now, I feel like when you put it all in the ball and shake it up, I feel like I do it the best, me personally. Like when I can do it the best. If you watch my fights before I got to Tiger Showman's, it was definitely a lot of smooth striking, a lot of slips, but it wasn't as much striking. Like it wasn't as much hands as it is now. But that was because I was more focused on the wrestling. I was more holding guys down, beating them up, GSP style.
Yeah, that's the way it is.
And then I got Tiger Showman's, and I became more of a like more hands, more Tyson-esque for MMA. With the hands and kicks as well. But I wasn't kicking as much. So now that I feel like I had to suffer those losses, those lessons, it forces me to make sure I'm, for one, always blending everything. For two, always as sharp as I can possibly be. And in the best shape I can possibly be in, and just being 100% well-rounded, and that's gonna make sure I win, always going forward. Learning how to make a judgment, learning how to be in every situation. Like it's just such a blessing when I look at it to be like I've been in every situation I could be in before I got to the UFC. I've had all the bright lights on me every single time. I'm the show every single time. I make the show every single time. It's not that I'm like trying to do anything different. I'm just being myself.
Yeah.
But every single time I fight, all the eyes are on me like Tupac, man. And I'm used to feeling it. So now when I get to the UFC, it's not going to be a shock.
Facts.
It's not going to be a shock. I'm used to the eyes on me. I'm used to being the big show. I'm used to being the star. So when I'm selling pay-per-views, it ain't going to be no surprise.
Facts.
When I'm breaking records, it ain't going to be no surprise. I'm saying I was going to do it since day one. Now that I'm there doing it, and I done went through all the bullshit. I went through everything when people thought, if he lost, he ain't going to keep talking like that. Or if this happened, he ain't going to keep talking like this. He get robbed, he don't keep talking like this. No, I'm still here. I'm still doing it. Now what? I'm going to go in there confident as a motherfucker. Like I said, I'm going to send somebody's soul to the fucking gods every single time I fight from here on out, man. Like the Renfro show is better than ever. I just can't wait to go put on another show for y'all.
That's going to be fire. And believe me, I think that just about anybody watching is going to be fucking tuned in. UFC Fight Pass May 14th?
Yes, sir. May 14th, CFFC. Check your boy out.
Yeah, it's going to be sick. But, so after that Dana White Contender Series fight, how did you deal with all the hate, man? Because I know that you obviously got, a lot of shit.
Yeah, my DMs are going crazy, man. Like, my parlay and all this shit. I was like, dude.
But, you're bugging, though. It's the judge's fault.
Yeah, it was the judge's fault. More than anything, I was, more confused from that fight than I was the last fight.
100%.
Because I feel like I won that fight.
Listen, I mean, that was, kind of a bit of a masterclass performance,
Yeah.
You outstruck him.
Yeah.
Took him down at will and at the perfect moments, too, to secure the rounds. The game plan was executed perfectly.
Yeah.
So it's just it's definitely a big surprise.
Yeah, I think maybe I was going backwards a little bit too much. If I can critique myself on anything, I was going backwards too much. I kind of let him come forward a little bit. So maybe the judges only saw him coming forward. But besides that, I still outstruck him by almost double. Also took him down
Every round, too.
Yeah. So I didn't lose. I didn't lose a round striking wise. And I remember thinking in the fight, as long as I hit him more than he's hitting me, I'm winning. So, first round, I'm swinging shots, thinking the fight's about to be over. I threw some body shots and I hurt my thumb. My thumb's still it looks like it has a marble in it.
Oh, yeah.
Right? I hurt my thumb in the fight. And, dude, I never felt that type of pain before in a fight ever in my life.
Damn.
Ever. So I go back to the corner and tell my coaches, I'm like, hey, man, I think I broke my hand. They're like, shut up, sit down. Because if you say that, they're going to stop the fight and you lose. So, and I really didn't feel, I felt it when I was punching, but I really felt it in the first round when I took him down. I went to go collect his other arm. And I felt like my hand was on fire. And I was like, oh, shit, I can't collect his hand right now.
Yeah.
My hand is, shaking, but no one knows that. Go back to the corner, tell them, they're like, shut up, go do your thing. That's why in the second round, you see me not really throw too many jabs at first. Because I'm, trying to see what I can really do with my hand.
Facts.
But still, every time that I actually took him down, when I wanted to really control, I never felt comfortable controlling, or even when I got him down in the second too, I didn't feel comfortable even starting to strike unless they were elbows. But if I were trying to get more space, he would have got out, right? But if I'm striking, I'm hurting my fucking hand. So I'm thinking I just got to figure it out. But, man, going forward, I don't care if my hand falls off. I'm just going to fucking make sure I finish this dude.
Oh, yeah.
So that's it, and that's all.
It's like when GSP, that one clip of him where he's in the corner, and he's like, I think I tore my groin. And his coach is like, throw your fucking groin at him.
Right.
It's facts.
Yeah, man. You just got to make it happen, because I look at that, and I'm like, it hits me still sometimes, random nights or random mornings. I could be just eating or something. And I'm like, man, that last 3 minutes of the fight, maybe if I was coming forward a little bit more, they would have just, even though I still think I won, maybe, they would have thought I won. So it's the way that eats at you, especially for me as a man. If I say I'm going to do something, I plan on doing it 100%. So So especially for me as a man to say I'm going to go out there and win and dominate the way I felt like I was dominating, but to still come up with the loss, it eats at me in ways that like you can't imagine.
Facts.
And I'm always thinking to myself like, fuck, man, those 3 minutes, those 3 to 5 minutes, my life might be totally different right now.
100%.
But not in a way that I'm like over here simping or feeling sorry for myself like, oh no, poor me. I'm just thinking like, okay, now when I'm in the gym, I get a chance to rewrite that story every single time. Every time I throw a leg kick, I get a chance to rewrite that fight with Mike Malott when I threw that shitty ass leg kick and got caught with the right hand. So now when I throw a leg kick, I make sure it's perfect. I get a chance to rewrite that. When I go to the gym and I'm getting tired in my rounds, I'm in the third round and it's 3 minutes left or whatever, I get to come forward and really slip and make sure I'm putting on that guy. I get to rewrite that story. You know, and even with this next fight, I get to, when I'm sparring with super tall dudes, I get to come in and creep in, touch the body, then rip the head down. I get to rewrite that story. So every single day I get to rewrite my mistakes. That way when I go out there, there's no more mistakes.
Yeah.
I got it all. I got it down. There's no need for, oh, he needs to learn this, he needs to learn that. No, Solomon's been through all the bullshit. Solomon's the real fucking deal. Solomon's been through all MMA, the best of the best. You guys putting up Mike Malott in this high pedestal, and he's great. He's a fucking stud. He seriously is.
True.
And I'm better. And that's a fact. You know? He's awesome. I'm better. Johnny Parsons, he's great. I'm better. The last guy I just fought, I lost to. He's great. He landed a great shot. I'm still better. But you have to know that as an athlete and as a person in order to get to where you believe you deserve to be. You know? Those guys have been training, fighting way longer than I have been as well. I saw Mike Malott interview after his fight, and he said he's been chasing this since like 2005. I was like, holy shit, man, 2005.
Jeez.
Damn. I was like 2015. I was like 10 years later than you.
Talk about an OG,
you know?
dude.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, you know, you deserve. I was happy for him. I'm clapping for him. Like, man, you deserve that. You know, but if you come across me again, I'm gonna tap that ass. But it's all love. It's all love. Like
Pause.
it's no pause. Extra pause. But you know, it's all love though. You know, like it's all out of the sport. As a fighter, as a man, from what he seems to represent, I respect him 1,000,000,000%. You know, but when it comes to us getting there mano a mano again,
Yeah.
like I said, I prepare to take his head off.
No, 100%.
I believe I will.
Well, that's what makes champions is, you know, like going back to the drawing board and improving the area where you lost the last time, you know, like a lot of fighters, they get, instead of like improving that area or just their whole game in general, they'll get in their heads and then it's like, all right, I just got to train harder. No, you got to train smarter.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously train harder as well. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But it's like optimize yourself, you know?
Yeah.
And it sounds like you've done that.
100%. I watched all the fights that I've had something go wrong in more than anybody else could possibly watch it. Like, I get obsessive. I'm watching that shit all night, over and over and over again, especially the last clip to where the fight's about to be over. I play that shit in my head more times than anybody else can play it, like I said, so I can get the chance to go in the gym and rewrite that story. I get the chance, when I watch it to where it's in my head so much, and I go to the gym and I get it out of my head by rewriting it, by putting in work in the gym, by doing it the right way. So now, even though, yeah, it happened that way, in that reality, now in my reality, it happened a different way. So now going forward, I'm thinking like, okay, if this didn't happen, you know, I would have got the result that I wanted. So now I got to make sure these things don't happen in any fight going forward. So I'll make sure I get the results that I want. Because let's being real, I don't really have too many chinks in my armor. You know, obviously we're always getting better, all of us, and things that happen. But I'm very well rounded, and I'm continuing to get better and better and better every single day. You know, as the days go by, it's get worse and worse for all my opposition. It really does, because I'm getting better. I'm leveling up. I'm training with JT Torres now, increasing my grappling, increasing my ground game, holding guys down. Obviously, I'm doing more at Tiger Showman's as far as my kicking game and defense as well. And then I'm more training with the high level pro boxers, putting in work with them, putting it on them, going to UFC, Jim Hoboken, training with those guys, getting in work, understanding the leg lock defense with Dylan Danis. You know, I'm learning a lot. I'm soaking up knowledge from everywhere I can possibly get it from. Like I said, when it's time for a Renfro show to pop off in the UFC, it's going to explode.
Hell yeah.
It's going to explode. And I'm going to make sure of it.
I don't doubt that one bit.
No, yeah, I'm excited, man.
Oh, yeah.
I'm excited.
And you know what? Another thing that's going to be good, too, is that, you know, you have a little bit of experience with, like, the lights, like you said.
Yeah.
And, you know, obviously, when you get to the UFC, that shit is maximized. And it seems like you're going to thrive in that environment.
Yeah, I feel like I do better when the lights are on like that. I really do feel like I do better like that.
Well, yeah, I mean, your best performance to date, you know, probably was that Contender Series fight, let's be honest.
Right.
And
Yeah.
That's the brightest lights of your career.
Like under the pressure,
Yeah.
quote unquote. You know, because there is no pressure. It's really only in your mind. But I feel like I do better in those moments. I really, really do. And I look forward to thriving in them. I love doing interviews. Like I see some guys are like, oh man, I don't want to do the media. It takes me away from training. I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? This is entertainment.
Yeah.
This is, you got in the game for entertainment. You're entertaining people. So you have to be able to, at least for one, hold a conversation, represent yourself well, and talk about your job. That's all you're doing is talking about your job, bro. It's not like you're doing
it's true.
Like, that's all you're really doing. You're not like you're like, you have to like put on some fake persona. Just be yourself. Talk about your job. Stop being weird. I don't get why people are like, why some fighters act like that about the camera or the interview. You should want to do every interview. The media is your friend. They're helping you become what you want to become. You want to become known all over the world. So every interview you do, every media outlet you talk to, that's going to help push you to do that.
True.
Duh. Like,
No, it's
you know, like I don't get.
I'm fucking weak.
I don't understand why they don't understand that.
He goes,
you know? Duh. Like really though, like you're here. I feel like every fighter should be trying to do interviews with you and here. You know, like any fighter doing anything, trying to take this career anywhere should be trying to jump all over any chance to do an interview.
Oh yeah.
You know, to put yourself out there because that's what you're trying to do with your job or any other job. You're trying to put yourself out there to get the best opportunities possible. And with our game, with MMA, the way you get seen by the UFC is to be seen.
Yeah.
How do you be seen? The media. They help you be seen. Like, come on, bro. You know, so like they're like wondering how people ask me like, how does he have such a name and stuff already? Like, dude, because I'm not afraid to be myself for one on camera, but for two, be seen. I'm not ducking away from interviews. I lose a fight, so fucking what? You lose a fight, go talk about it. That's what people want to know. They want to know what it was like for you. They want to know what that was like. They want to know what that was like, so you can be that example for them to continue to go forward. You know, and our job. We're also, as we're entertainers, we're also, our job is to inspire, you know, aspire to inspire. And we literally go out there and fight. Everyone fights. Everyone fights for their life every single fucking day. Every day you get up in the morning, it's a fight. You know, you might wake up and there's a ticket, or you might be fighting with your wife, or just society just kicking your ass. You know, me being a young black man in America, I feel like every single day is a fight just to make it, you know. But we literally go out there and fight. So we represent what life is like for people, you know. Our little career is representation of other people's lives. So if you're not to want to talk about that, I feel like
you're crazy.
I don't know. Yeah, you're crazy, man. And you're not doing yourself any favors. It doesn't take you anything to go out there and just be yourself or do like we're doing right now. Have a conversation. You talk to your boys all the time about it. It's so different now. We're just holding his mic. Like,
exactly.
He's my boy. We're chilling.
No,
it's not a big deal.
It's a fact, man. People put too much pressure on shit like this, dude.
Too much pressure on it, man. Just go out there, relax, chill out. So that's what it is. Same thing like when you're fighting too, though. You know, like you do this shit every single day. You go spar in the gym. I mean, you might not actually spar hard, but you're doing these drills every single day. So when it's time to fight, man, what are you? Yeah, you should be a little nervous just because you're going out there and it's like for your career. But what are you so afraid of, quote unquote? You know,
it's true.
Like nervousness is one thing, but being fearful, ain't got nothing to fear. And for me, I feel like all my biggest fears in life already done came to life. Like I lost a lot of friends, lost a lot of relationships that I didn't want to lose, lost fights that literally I had nightmares about losing fights like this, and I lost them. You know, so now all my biggest fears are coming to life, so I have nothing left to fear. Nothing left to fear. So I just go out there and do the damn thing, bro. Have fun, go out there with a smile.
And that's a dangerous motherfucker, bro.
It's a dangerous motherfucker, bro. Dangerous as fuck, man.
No, that's a
stay
fact,
happy,
though.
stay dangerous, you know? True story.
No, it's true, man. And, you know, I'm excited to see what comes next, for real, because, you know, like someone coming off a loss and talking like this, I mean, that's a dangerous person.
I'm telling you, the Renfro show is better than ever. It never left. It's just better than ever. That's all. I'm not going to say it's back because it never left. It's just better than ever. Just better than ever. It's just better than ever, man. I wish people could see the growth that I'm taking every day, but they can't see it. They're only going to be able to see it in the fight. But literally every single day I'm getting better. Every day I'm adding something to the repertoire. Every single day. I love it, man. I can literally like feel it. Almost like, man, almost like it's like if I was playing with a bunch of Legos and I can see myself stacking it every single fucking day. But I'm not stacking with just one tall tower. I'm stacking with a solid base. And then I'm getting more and more. Because my shit ain't going to fall over. Once it's time, once you see my shit, you ain't going to see my shit fall. Right now, you see my shit, well, maybe not right now, because my shit's starting to rise up, right? But it was here, you know, just stacking. When you start to see it, though, you ain't going to see it fall. You start to see some people's stuff, but they ain't got a solid base. You see it rise, and you see it fall down. My shit got a solid base. So when my shit rises, it ain't falling down. It's gonna keep rising, man. I'm coming to build an empire.
That's true.
Yeah, true story. Coming to build an empire. Starting off with this next fight when I whip this dude ass, and y'all can get this merch too.
I was about to say, yo, starting the merch empire too.
Yeah, the merch empire. You already know what it is, man. The Renfro show, better than ever. I'm telling you. We got t-shirts, got jerseys, got hats. Man, tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell your girl, tell your exes, get you some Renfro gear.
Get you some Renfro.
For real.
Nah, it's a fire brand too. It's like I'm liking the logo and shit, especially
Appreciate it, man.
Cause,
Appreciate it, man.
Because you're coming to become the king, right?
Yeah, I'm the king of everything, man. I'm coming to set fire to the world. Not set the world on fire, though. People confuse me when I say that.
Yeah, no, that's a fact.
I'm not the Joker. I'm not coming to set the world on fire. I'm coming to set fire to the world, you know?
Make a fucking impact.
Yeah, make an impact. Leave an impact that's going to last like Muhammad Ali has done. Like Achilles has done. Like Bruce Lee has done. They're dead and gone, but we still talk about them.
True.
Everyone talks about them every day. You got pictures of them. You got kids that are never ever even gonna hear an actual word from them, but they're gonna grow up looking up to these people.
Speaking of leaving a mark, did you ever get to talk to Dana after that whole Contender Series thing, or did it just fizzle out?
Yes and no. Like he sent me a text. He said, just keep going, stay focused, and you'll be here. Pretty much it, Dan's
That's fire,
a busy
though.
man. So yeah, I'll take that. He knows I'm on the radar. I just gotta do what I do every single day. Let's just get better and go out there and perform. And I feel like after this next performance, maybe one or two, they're gonna give me that call, and I'm gonna go out there and set fire to the world.
I love that, man. That's sick. Isn't that such a wild thing, though? You're at the start of something that's gonna snowball into something even bigger.
Yeah.
What's that feeling, man? I just gotta know. Like, how does it feel to be on the precipice of something so huge?
Man, some days it feels super shitty. Cause to be honest, some days it feels shitty because it's like I'll be at home and I'll see these fights and I'm like, man, I know I'm better than this guy. I should be doing this. I should be doing that. And I gotta get myself out of that mindset and be like, bro, stop thinking like that. Think about what you can do right now to get better. Because thinking like, oh, I know I'm better than this guy is not gonna help you. What can you do right now to get you better? So then when I get in that mindset, it's fucking glorious, bro. It's like I'm in a movie. Literally, it's like I feel like I'm in a movie every single day, and I'm like how Joe Rogan says, "Be that character that you want to be." I feel like I'm being that character that I want to be. When I look in the mirror in the morning, I try to remind myself of that kid I used to look in the mirror at, and be like, "Would that kid be proud of me today?"
Facts.
I want that kid to be proud of me today. I want me when I was 7-year-old saying, "I'm going to be an NFL player. I'm going to be a champion." Blah 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 blah. I want that kid to know that I actually did that shit.
Facts.
I want that kid to know that, yo, we did it. We really did it. A lot of people say stuff like that and they don't even get close to doing it. Like we're doing it. So I'm making it happen. So it's just like I said, it's like a movie moment. So there's any hero movie, hero rises and he falls and he rises and he falls. But every time he falls, he gets stronger and stronger and stronger to where he's not falling nearly as much anymore. So that's what we're doing.
True.
That's
Who would you
what we're
say
doing.
is like the biggest inspiration for you? Are you watching past guys? Are you watching like the people now?
As like biggest inspiration as far as a fighter?
Yeah, like
or
as far even honestly in general, people who just get you going every single fucking day.
every time I think about that person,
For sure.
me.
I think that might be the best answer we've ever had. on
Nah,
this
me,
podcast.
man, for real. Cause who else are we doing it for? If I'm not inspiring myself, how can I inspire anybody else?
Yeah.
Really,
That's true.
If I'm not loving on myself, how can I expect anybody else to love me?
Yeah.
So me first. Then after, I guess myself, I got some teammates that I love, like Shane Burgos, for example. I feel like as a man, he's an amazing example. As a man,
Yeah.
I see him training super hard every single day. He's super loyal to his team, super loyal to his wife, his 2 daughters. I mean, as a man, dude's a rock star. He's he's like a big brother to me, always. But I probably don't ever. I've never said this to him before, so
Shane, if you're watching,
yeah. But seriously, he's amazing, big brother to his little brothers. He's awesome to his family. He's awesome to me now. When I first came into Tiger Showrooms, I didn't know nobody. And he walked up to me. He's like, "Yo, Mom made me kill," And I was like, "What are you talking about?" But I forgot. I had that interview when I was or that one stare down when I was yelling at that guy, and that's what he was talking about. But
well,
yeah,
he did his homework. I guess.
Yeah. He took me in like family, man. He really did, and just to see how he operates with his family, he's an inspiration. That's someone that's immediately close to me. Obviously, you know, a lot of my friends, I draw inspiration from them too. Someone that I don't know, possibly, I guess like one of my favorite fighters just put out there, I would say Demetrius Johnson. How you not love him?
That's a fact.
Demetrius Johnson, I think he's the GOAT of GOATs as far as like
Better than Anderson.
Around the game. Between him and John Jones, who's better? Demetrius Johnson or John Jones?
Nah.
It's tough to say who's better, man.
Yeah.
Really, it's tough.
Well, I would say
They're
I
the
would say
same
Jones
size.
just for the fact that he hasn't lost.
Right.
But
Right.
outside the cage, if you combine, if you,
Outside the cage.
if you combine like outside the cage, you know, like they're the way that they act in their real lives versus
Yeah.
the way that they are in the cage.
Yeah.
Demetrius Johnson is the GOAT.
Demetrius Johnson's the GOAT.
But if you completely exclude all the bullshit outside the cage, then it's John
Yeah,
Jones.
John Jones, yeah, just in the cage. I mean, if that's the case, then we're gonna say. I thought we were talking about just as a man in total, as like fighters, inspirational.
As a man total, it's DJ.
Yeah. I'm like, as a fighter, inspirational as hell. I mean, how do you not love Mac G's story? You know, how you not love Conor McGregor's story? How you not love that story? I mean,
It's
like,
true.
You might not like the guy, love or hate him. That's a story you could look at and be like, yo, this is a dude that really said he's gonna do this shit and went out there and fucking did that shit. Israel Adesanya is another one. You know, a dude that said they're gonna do that shit and real out and did that shit. Like, how do you not draw inspiration from that? I don't care what anyone says. Whether you like the guy or not, whether you care about what he says in the media or not. There's a man who said I was gonna do something and he went out there and did it. If you can't draw inspiration from that, you're a hater.
Facts.
For me, I plan on one day possibly standing across the cage from that dude. And if he stands across the cage from me, I'm gonna rip his fucking little head off.
Facts.
But that doesn't mean I can't be inspired by that person. If I go spar with Shane tomorrow morning, I'm gonna go out there and try to whoop his ass. You know, I'm gonna whoop his ass. But that don't mean I can be inspired by Big Bro.
Facts.
You know, he gonna see this and be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna fuck you up."
Now he's gonna be one whooping your ass.
He's gonna be coming. But it is what it is. You know, that's what makes us better. You know, but yeah, McGregor's another one. Like, how could you not, like I said, be inspired by that guy? Israel Adesanya, Khabib, how disciplined he's been. That's inspirational. Like, he's been so disciplined to cut all that weight every single time.
Oh my gosh.
Even though he didn't make weight every single time, you know, the dude looks like he's like 200 pounds or something. You know,
He's fucking massive.
he's huge.
Dude. I mean, he's another
bro.
guy. You're like the same size, bro. Look
That's
at
what
you.
I'm saying.
Holy shit.
I went to Vegas and everyone was telling me like, bro, yeah, you should probably be a 55er. But obviously you're super strong, so you can compete at 70. That's what it is. I got the strength and the power to be at 70. You know, but height wise, I should probably be at 55.
You ever thought about like Eagle FC with the 65 division?
Yeah,
'Cause, I mean,
65 would be
shit.
man. That would be a dream come true. Fighting at 165, that's perfect.
Yeah.
That would be perfect for me. I thought about it. I just don't know how they are with the UFC. I don't know if they're like, you go to Eagle FC and the UFC is like, all right, you want to fight for them, then fuck you. So I'm just gonna take the path of fighting on UFC Fight Pass, whooping ass on there, and then just getting the UFC through there. I feel like
That's
if
a
I
fact.
take that path to maybe Bellator, it'll take me an extra 5 or 6 years or something like that to get to the UFC from there. Even PFL or Eagle FC, all great organizations, but right now my mind is on the UFC just because I believe the UFC is number one overall, and that's the only reason why.
Well, and another good thing about you too is that, you know, you got a good personality and all that, so you wouldn't have to worry too much about whole, you know, the fighter pay conversation.
Oh yeah. No, I'm not.
'Cause
Worried.
that's a huge debate now.
Everyone talks to me about that. They be like, people coming to me like, "What do you feel about fighter pay? You think you're gonna make all this money?" I'm like, "Yo, I know I'm gonna make money. I don't know about what them motherfuckers are doing. I don't know what they doing. They doing it wrong. I know that much.
Well,
they
no,
doing it wrong. I feel like
it's true.
if you're out there, if you have that market, how are you not making money outside of just that market? How are you not doing clothing? How are you not getting sponsorships? How are you not doing seminars at the very least? You know, to make you just doing seminars. If you're a UFC fighter at that level, you could be able to do seminars maybe once or twice a
100%.
month and make great money. I think part of it is just, for one, having a closed mind. Another part of it is just being lazy, thinking things are gonna just fall in your lap. When it comes to being a workhorse, you got to work all the way around the clock, not just in the gym, even though that's the biggest part of it. Winning is the most important thing in this sport. If you're not winning, then no one gives a fuck.
It's true.
That's the first thing. So get the wins. Now after you're getting the wins, now you got to promote yourself. You know, all right? Now after you're promoting yourself, now you got to do something with that promotion.
Oh yeah.
Right? You can't be promoting yourself. All right, everybody knows who this guy is. Now what is this guy doing? Right? You know? So it's like step by step. But you got that type of, I feel like if I had that platform, right now, I'd be making at least 25 G's a month. At least 25 G's a month off sponsors. No joke.
Jesus.
I would be making at least 25 G's a month off sponsors because I got great management, I got great personality, and I'm not a fucking goofball. Like, I'm not just sitting on my ass like hopefully money falls in my lap. No, I'm gonna make something happen. I'm gonna go out there and get the W's first of all. You know, train harder than everybody else, go with the W's, and then work harder than everybody else outside of the cage as well. Because that's what the best guys are doing. If you want to make money, look at McGregor's doing. I mean, look at Mayweather did. Look what
Facts.
Mayweather did. Mayweather was hanging out with Warren Buffett. Why do you think he's doing that? You think he's just hanging out with him because he likes hanging out with this old white guy?
I think
No.
Warren goes to his strip clubs a little bit too much.
Probably.
You know? That's probably what it is.
That's probably what it is. Probably what it is. But after that, you know, they're having conversations about Coca-Cola.
No, it's a fact.
You know, when you're sitting with these people, you're in these rooms. Now you're having a conversation that you need to be having. You know, when you're going golfing. Like, I just started golfing recently. And the only reason I started golfing because I read in a book somewhere that, like, billionaires make deals over golf courses. And I was like, why have I not been golfing this whole time? And I bought myself some clubs, and I went to a range and started to learn how to play fucking golf. I'm like, I want to be a billionaire. I got to
Respect
do
that.
what billionaires do, you know?
I respect that.
And that's it.
No, but it's true because, you know, like, if you want to be something, you got to embody it.
Embody it.
Yeah.
100%. You know, you got to be that all the way.
Yep.
You can't just be a star once you get there because then you don't know how to be a star. You got to be a star the whole time. For me, people ain't with. I'm not going to be for me when I get to the UFC, they're going to be like, oh, he changed. No, he didn't. People going to be like, that was the same nigga from day one that I met. On CFFC, when he was walking up telling Rob Hayek, hey, I'm going to be the GOAT. Same dude from day one. First pro fight out there talking shit. First pro fight out there doing my thing. The same dude from day one. I ain't changing nothing except I'm increasing my game. It's the only thing that changed. I'm increasing my game. I'm elevating. But as far as who I am to the core, I'm gonna stay that man all the way. You know, they say you are who you say you are. Money just make you more of who you already are.
Yep.
So this is who I am. This is who I am. I'm a great man. I'm confident. I believe in what I say, and I say what I believe, and I do that, and I execute those things, and that's that. Now, once I get in the UFC and the more money and everything, all that does is inflate who I am. But who I am is Solomon Renfro to the core. That's it. This is who I am. I want to show love to everybody. I want everybody to show love to me. And if you don't, you stay on your side, I stay on my side. But overall, I'm just trying to be the best person I could possibly be. And I want you to be the best person you could possibly be. So just trying to inspire, you know?
And you're 100% in your own lane, you know what I mean? Like,
That's
you're blazing your own path. And one thing that I think is really good about you that, you know, at 25 years old, you already have the jump on mad athletes is the fact that you're, you know, planning how to spend your money.
Yeah.
A lot of these guys, they secure the bag and then they're like, all right, let me go blow the bag now.
Blow the bag.
Completely empty it.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
they fucking fumble that shit.
Yeah,
but you're
nah.
out here scoring touchdowns, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes,
Like-
sir. Scoring.
Like that, like you should, your first concern should not be to buy a Mozzie the second that you
Yeah.
you get a fucking stack.
Now, don't get it twisted, though. You know, I'm a flex.
Yo, show them the ice real quick.
You
girl.
already know.
Show them the ice.
Yeah. Hey, shout out to my jewelers, man. The 716. They always show me love, man. That's out in Buffalo. But yeah, no, I'm definitely gonna get the drop top. You know, I'm definitely gonna come out with a drop top. Definitely have a nice crib. Definitely gonna take care of all my loved ones. Definitely gonna be the person to come to for people that were there for me.
True.
And be like, yo, here, I got you a car, or like, yo, here, I got you this trip. You know, just because I was just thinking about you, because I've been dreaming about being able to do that for so long for people that have done things for me to where I couldn't repay them back at the moment. So when I get those opportunities, I'm gonna do it. But first and foremost, before I can make sure I can do those things, I gotta make sure I'm secure and my base is secure financially. And then, you know the third rules. Third, divide the money in third.
Yep.
Make sure my money's divided in third. You know, I got my money for savings, got my money for taxes, got my money for play. You know, but I want my third for play to be like 3 million.
Yeah.
You know, 3 million here to play around with. You know, maybe more than that. You know, but starting out, you know, that's what I'm thinking. I know in the UFC coming forward, it's a couple racks, but I'm not just gonna be making money in fighting. I'm gonna be making money all over the place. But I'm gonna be making sure the most money that I make is in fighting. The most important thing more than anything else is getting the fucking W's. So before you can do all that other shit, you gotta make sure you get the W's. You gotta make sure you have the skill set. You gotta make sure you have the basics of the game. And then once you understand the basics, you have to understand it as a student, not just as a brawler. You gotta understand every piece of the game. So you have to know it all the way before you can do anything else. You know, fighting is your lane to the world for me. You know, I was born into fighting, and fighting was given to me. But fighting isn't who I am always. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Fighting's a part of me. Fighting's a big part of me, but it's a part of me. But fighting is my lane to introduce myself to the world.
True.
So that's what I'm going to use it as. You know, if I was a rapper would be my lane to introduce myself in the world. If I was a cosmetologist, I become the best cosmetologist I could possibly be. And then once the world knows my name, then from there I can go start giving to the poor and building community centers and things like that. But I can't help the poor if I'm one of them.
Yeah.
You know, so like Jay-Z said, I can't help the poor if I'm one of them. I get rich and give back. To me, that's a win-win. And that's a fact, you know.
No, it's a straight fact.
Like, make yourself wealthy first, then you can give back. So that's the game plan. That's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to execute.
I love that, man.
Yes, sir.
Well, talk to the people about your brand and what you got going on next, man.
So this brand is 716 Mafia, a brand out in Buffalo. These shirts, we got these jerseys, got these fitteds right here. We got sweatpants coming out. I got training gear coming out. Got a lot of stuff coming out, man. But this brand is really special to me because I've designed it. I spent a lot of time with them over the phone, or I'll send a design, they'll get right back to me on it. I'll send a design, they'll try to draw it up. So this is really for me, for my people, you know, but it's designed by me. It's not one of the brands that I was like randomly designed. I just put my name on it. Like, I created this. So it means a lot to me, and I'm looking forward to putting it out there for everybody 100%. To start rocking it. Yeah.
Hey, you got a customer in me, so.
Yes, sir. I love that. Looks good on you, man. That crown. The crown. Listen, and the thing about the king is like, yeah, I call myself the king, but everybody is a king and queen in their own world. You know, I'm not saying I'm a king over nobody else. I'm just saying I'm a king because I'm a king mentally. You know, I'm not saying I rule anybody else. I feel like I'm going to rule the UFC 100%, but I'm a king because I'm a king mentally, just like you're also a king. So I might walk up to you and be like, yo, what's up, king? You know, that's how I do. But like I said, everybody is a king and queen in their own world. If you're not thinking like that, then something's off.
Well, people get it twisted and like they think that it's like all about your ego and shit.
Right. And
it's just a matter of how you feel about your field and how you feel about your position in the field.
Exactly. And how you feel about yourself as a person.
Exactly.
How you feel about yourself as a person. You know, like self-love is the best love. If you don't have self-love, you really can't do anything in life. I do this thing called Self-Love Sundays, where on Sundays I literally just do a few things just for myself every single Sunday, no matter what. Try my best not to do too much unless I like want to go. Unless I really want to train, then I'll go train. Or I'll try to like maybe do yoga or buy myself some roses, go get a manicure or some shit like that. You know, take myself out to dinner, buy myself like a nice.
You buy yourself roses?
Hell yeah, I buy myself roses all the time. I bought myself roses today.
I respect that.
I bought myself roses today, bro.
I respect that.
That's my thing, bro. Always.
That's valid.
I do self-love Sundays, but it's so good for you, bro. Try it. Really, it improves your confidence in yourself. It improves your love for yourself, and that just improves your life. If you love yourself, you're gonna want better for yourself, right? If you love a girl, because this is most people can understand this, or a man, if you're a woman watching this, right? You love this person, you do things to try to better their life. You might get them things. You might invest in them somehow, some way, right? So when you love yourself, you do those things for yourself. You know, buy yourself some new shoes. When the last time you bought yourself some new shoes? Buy yourself a shirt, buy yourself a nice dinner, and you buy yourself some wine. Take yourself out.
I'm broke as a motherfucker right now.
You gotta take somebody else out. Still, it's an investment though. You know, you buy yourself one rose, a nice rose from a flower shop is like $5. One rose. That $5 could take you so far mentally. That $5, right? Same way you put gas in your car, the same way you put fucking food in your body, the same way you gotta take care of your mental health. Really, really important. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be in the mind frame that I am right now.
True.
Them losses would have crushed me. Especially the way I be talking and the way I be all in the news, and people be DMing me, you suck, blah, blah, you lost, ha, ha. Like, y'all some haters. But if I wasn't mentally strong and if I didn't love myself the way I love myself, I wouldn't be able to continue to push the way I'm pushing and say what I'm saying and live how I'm living. I wouldn't be able to. I wouldn't be able to take 5 steps back knowing that I'm going to take 100 steps forward because I'm taking them 5 steps back. I wouldn't be able to do that. But because I love myself and understand, you know, how life treat you, how it works, you know, I'm able to take these steps with confidence and then go forward with confidence and execute with confidence. And I can look back on it and be happy. I can look back on it and be happy that I made the decisions that I make and that I put the time into things that I put the time into, you know. I want to have no regrets. I want to be able to tell my kids one day, like, yo, I really went for it. I went for all of it. I went for it. I don't want to be laying on my bed one day saying, like, what if? So I'm going to just go for it. That's what you guys are seeing me do, put myself out there. And 10, 15, 20 years from now, 2 years from now, y'all going to be watching this interview and be like, damn, man, this kid really said he was going to do that shit, and look at him, he's doing it. 2 years from now. Probably end of this year, I'm being in UFC, but 2 years from now, I'm really going to be like, a marquee name in the world, not just the UFC. So keep watching. The Renfro Show is better than ever. I keep telling y'all, man. Stay tuned.
That's a fact. And, it's a blessing that you have not only the balls to put yourself out there, but the guts to believe in yourself to that extent.
Yeah.
So
it is.
Nothing but respect
Gift
to
and
that.
a curse. More of a gift, though.
It can be.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything you want to tell the people before you go?
Shout out to all my family, friends, and fans, and enemies and haters. I love all y'all. Seriously, I love everybody. Thank y'all so much for supporting me, for watching my fights, for watching my highs, watching my lows. Keep watching. It's going to be a great show. And thank you so much for having me on the show.
Dude, my fucking pleasure.
For
and for real, like, let me know the link to your fight and everything like that.
Got you.
I'm going to send it out to everybody.
Got you. Let's do it.
May
W's
14th.
up, man. W's up. All love.
Thank you for coming on, my boy.
Thanks for having me.
My pleasure.
Sick
This is
podcast,
dope, man.
That was fire.